First of all, they try to say that Juneteenth is the day that they freed the slaves, and it's very disrespectful, and it's a bold-faced lie. It's disrespectful to say you freed somebody and you didn't free them. You made it even worse for the people. You made them depend on buying stuff from some kind of store, and they can't even find a source of income to buy stuff out of the store. They can't own no land. They being chased by the Ku Klux Klan and terrorists. And then you, at the same time, you screaming that they are free and they've been set free. But you ain't give nobody no money. So eventually, I still got to come back to you and work for you as a slave just to get some food or some kind of money. And then you didn't send nobody home to their homeland. I'm still in your home, in your land that you stole and raped, robbed, and murdered people in. And then you got Reconstruction. Soon as the situation happened and they blew Abraham Lincoln's brains out, Andrew Jackson with his mass murdering the Indians and chasing John Horse and Wildcat to Mexico and blowing up the Fort Gad in so-called Jacksonville. This dragon, he reversing everything and trying to reverse everything that Lincoln did, but he had to rename it and make a new system where these same individuals would end up being slaves. And all they did was, with the 13th Amendment, they said, okay, well, you can't have slaves, but if they commit a crime, you can have slaves. If they commit a crime, you can enslave they behind. So now, all you got to do is, as a police department and as a government, because they were saying this is a white man's government, and as a government is make laws where you can enslave them again. So, okay, if they up walking around town at a certain time of night, you can enslave them again. If they drop a piece of paper on the ground, you can enslave them again. You see, you catch them doing something against the law, you can throw them behind in chains and take them to a chain gang and make them work all day long for you, for cheap and for nothing, as a no good, dirty slave. So it's disrespectful. And my grandmama, born in 1935, said these people were still in slavery after 1935. You see, folks coming down from Georgia, going down there to Florida, working for a man and the man owned the store, and he giving the people coins for they payday. So they working for the man. He paying them, but he paying them coins to buy stuff out of his store. So the store pretty much is the way that the slave master is enslaving everybody. You got to go to his store to get what you need, plus he giving you the money to spend in the store. So that was a new system that they had uncreated. And they created that system in 1865 when they so-called freed somebody. No, you made it even worse. It's an even worse form of slavery where you got a freaking store and you giving out all the goods and supplies out this store, but you creating the money for me to go been at this store. And the whole thing is just wickedness, and it's disrespectful for you to tell somebody that they free, that they were set free when they were never set free. That's just so disrespectful, man. Now, real quick, it was some guidelines on this slavery thing. Now, the only reason anybody on earth, and especially a nation of peoples on earth, went into slavery because they was disobeying the Most High. He said if they disobey them in Deuteronomy 28:15, that all the curses that's in this Deuteronomy 28, chapter 28, verse 15 on down, all these curses shall come upon them and overtake them. They'll be cursed in the city, cursed in the field, cotton field, sugarcane field, tobacco field, rice field, whatever field they want to throw you in, you gonna be cursed in it and got to work in it. Sun up to sun down. Then you couldn't open no store because that would be cursed. So you jump down all the way down to 32. It says your children gonna be given to another people. They gonna come and take your children. Okay, then you jump down to verse 46. He say, and the curses that's in this chapter, they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed or children forever. So this thing wasn't going nowhere. You ain't gonna, some man gonna come up and say, you know what, it's 1865, and you Negroes can get off the plantation and y'all free. Y'all are free now. No, it wasn't gonna happen. Then verse 48 he say, therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies which the Lord has sent against thee. You see, the Lord sent these peoples against us. They just would say, oh, let's go down there on the west coast of Africa and grab up some dark-skinned people and work them. No, the Lord sent these peoples against us, and all the popes knew that this nation had done messed up, and they said, go down there and put them into captivity, in an everlasting captivity. Now, the last curse let you know who they were talking to. He's saying the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt or in bondage again with ships. And it say, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you or save you. So you weren't gonna get saved out of this situation. You see, you're not getting saved out of the situation. And so that's what they trying to say. Oh, Juneteenth came and some man named Abraham Lincoln, he saved them Negroes out of the situation, and now they is a free. You idiot! Ain't nobody free, and if somebody putting a chain around you don't dictate your freedom, cause them Negroes didn't have no chains around them. They didn't have no yoke of iron around their neck. They was around there dancing and cooning for the being a court jester for the freaking slave master, playing the banjo and all the bass guitar. They around there having a good time. Just because they ain't got no chains on them, don't dictate that they a slave or they free. You see, they had a lot of freedom, but them sapsuckers was not free. You still in the land of your captivity. You still where they brought you at. You just considered as free on paperwork, and they done made an announcement and said you free, when that was a bold-faced lie. These people are born liars. According to Psalms 58:3, King David, the one that the kingdom, the next kingdom is promised to, let you know these people are born liars, and you cannot trust your enemy. You got to be a fool to trust your enemy and listen to the man coming out of his mouth. So this sapsucker giving a bold-faced lie. You is not free. You got to work to buy stuff out that store, and that's even worse, because now he done raised up the prices, and minimum wage is the same operation, and it's so low it's ridiculous. For example, if you live in the state of Florida, minimum wage is $8, and the living wage to the cost of living in Florida, you need to be making $24 an hour, but they got the minimum wage is $8 an hour, and the most of these Negroes making is $13 an hour, and if these women wants to go be a nurse or whatever, they can make up to 18 to 20 something, $20 an hour at the most. It ain't too many of them making $24 an hour, and they done went to school for a long time to do that. So you better can make a living wage even after you go to school and get you a degree and all this mess. You better can make a living wage around him, because you is still a slave. If you try to leave the country, they gonna say you better have a pass that lets you know that you a slave. They catch you in another country and find out you come from America and you don't got your passport, they dragging you back here in chains. So how in the heck you free to go where you want to go, do what you want to do? You free. You not free. You got small freedoms, and it done blinded you to the fact that these people still got you in captivity as an Israelite slave. You see, they don't even want to tell you who you are. They calling you colored people, black people, African Americans. They don't want to tell you that you the children of Israel. That only the children of Israel is the only nation on earth that went into slavery. Let's get that before I end. The only peoples on earth that went into slavery. You see, this ain't something that multiple people done went through. No, only Israel went to slavery. And I got 2 verses to prove it. Yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey the voice. Therefore the curse, like we read, is poured upon us in the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he has confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges, that judged us by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. Nobody else under the heaven went through the stuff that the children of Israel, the children of Jerusalem, went through. You see, let's run through these verses real quick. Luke 21:24. Yahushua, who they ignorantly called Jesus Christ, told him straight up. He said, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives into all nations. They shall be led away slaves into all nations, and their homeland Jerusalem is going to be trodden down by the non-Israelites, the Gentiles, until their time is up. And then he going to come and save them. Not know they going to save themselves. Abraham Lincoln going to set them free. No. Yahushua, which his name means he saves or he delivers, he's going to be the one to save them. Not no freaking Abraham Lincoln or Red Dragon. Now when you go to the first chapter in the book of Luke, he lets you know. He say in verse 68, it say, blessed be the Lord of Israel, the Lord God of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people, and has raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. Who is that horn of salvation? Let's see who the horn of salvation is. 71, he say, for we shall be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. Now, the horn of salvation is Yahushua, man. He is the King of salvation. He the one that's going to come and save us. Nobody else is going to come and save us, man. Nobody going to say, oh, y'all free. It's 1865, y'all free. Y'all can go on back to Jerusalem and live in Jerusalem. No, the heathen's going to run through that place because Yahushua said we're going to have to be slaves in all nations until he come back. And he the King of kings and Lord of lords. Now, we got the fact that we the only people that went into slavery. Let's get Lamentations. Let's get Lamentations chapter 1. And it's going to give you more details again. Say, Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtake her between the straits. So Judah went into captivity. She's not going to get no rest. She's going to be enslaved and putting work from sun up to sundown. When you clock into that job, Negro, you going your behind to your slave master. And you going to have to work. And you ain't going to sit around and get no rest. You going to have to work sun up to sundown or 8 hours, and you're working pretty for nothing, because once you get a paycheck, you got to get that up to another persecutor, another dragon that's going to drag you behind, because you ain't giving up to another Israelite slave because they can't have no businesses because they curse. And they can't own no houses and own no land because they curse. So you going to guarantee be giving it up to a heathen, giving your money to a heathen and working for a job for a heathen. Because you is in slavery, Negro. These people is lying to you, telling you some bold-faced lie, talking about Juneteenth, you free, we set y'all free. You ain't did a dang thing. They blowed that man brains out, and Andrew Jackson took over the country, and he was a new slave master, and he just put all the slaves up under his thumb. Now all the slaves belong to me. They was belonging to Master Johnson, Master Smith, Master Williamson, but now Abraham Lincoln, what he did was he put all the slaves under my authority and control. You see, that's all. That's the only thing that changed, and that's what happened. And these Negroes around here really think it's a day to celebrate. It's a celebration because Abraham Lincoln signed some stupid paper. We don't give a care what he signed, man. We still in the worst conditions ever. But I'm gonna leave it there. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rekaket Dash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace of these elect worldwide scattered. And death to America, death to these red dragons. Shalom.